On the 24th of January in 2023, President Muhammadu Buhari was in Lagos to commission the Dangote Refineries. They rolled out the drums. The federal government, ostensibly, the illicit federal government, because we can't be talking about federal government when we don't have a federation. The federal government rolled out its drum to celebrate. APC joined, blowing trumpets of achievement. But those who have the capacity to see beyond the facade were seeing what was being celebrated, not for what was advertised or how it was advertised. What was being celebrated is the height of asset stripping and expropriation, Fulani asset stripping of Nigeria. The Dangote Refinery, which we are all supposed to be rejoicing about. Oh, petrol is about to come. When the whole country has been locked down deliberately by the artificial scarcity that had to be created to make room for the entry of Dangote Refinery into the market. People having been, having suffered the excruciating pain from unavailability of petroleum products will now be willing to buy at whatever price Dangote is willing to sell. That project is not our project. It is Fulani project. It is your project. It's not our project. The product itself, the crude oil, have been confiscated from its owners by virtue of the Constitution of Nigeria imposed by this same caliphate. So on the exclusive list of the 1999 Constitution, you have the oil and gas assets of the Niger Delta confiscated. On that same exclusive list, you have the right, the power to refine, again, confiscated into the hands of the federal government. That same federal government that have been cornered by the caliphate, with Buhari, their champion, sitting at the pinnacle, has now combined the confiscation of oil and gas assets with the confiscation of power to refine, handing the two over to a Fulani man, while tying the hands of the owners of the oil to the back. And so Dangote will take the crude. Dangote has been granted license in monopoly to refine for all of us, 600,000 barrels, they say. Whereas that same constitution that put refining in the exclusive jurisdiction of the federal government has been responsible for the shutdown of the 4 refineries in Nigeria. How many years now? And then we're talking about subsidy and all of what the 6 trillion it takes to pay for our refusal to think, to pay for our inefficiencies. And so the Dangote Refinery monopoly is simply Caliphate asset stripping of Nigeria, indigenous Nigeria. Expropriation made permanent. And so we're not rejoicing that we're about to get petrol. We have the capacity to refine the products. We have the capacity to deal with the crude oil in a manner that will be beneficial, that will save our environment some better than what is being done by this federal government. And so, let us also be reminded, so that we can see the picture as clearly as it can become. Let us be reminded that while Dangote and his banks were, putting the refinery structures together, it came to where it didn't make financial sense to the banks anymore, and there was no money to continue. This same Caliphate-controlled federal government dipped hands into the treasury and took $2 billion. How did they pass it into the public? They say, oh, federal government has to invest, they take up a stake in Dangote Refinery as if they're investing for all of us. I don't know who they think they're talking to. You took $2 billion from our collective purse in the name of federal government to invest in shares. Some here is a 10 or 20, I don't know how many percent, but it's not more than 20% stake in Dangote's private business. So those $2 billion was now handed over to this Fulani man to put into his private business. And that is all of how we got to where there's now a refinery to provide all of us with products. The solution to refinery, the solution to petroleum products that have become so unavailable, perennially unavailable, is to take down the 1999 Constitution that confiscates the right to the power to refine into the hands of the federal government. Everybody can refine. I was in the oil industry enough to know. Everybody who can look will see. You go to Texas and see the number of private refineries littered all over the place. What is there in refining? In the 3 years of Biafra, vehicles were moving around, and the refineries were built by local initiative. Even the ones we chase around in the swamps and bushes of the Niger Delta, who are refining in their own crude way, if that impediment imposed by that constitution is removed today, there are a whole number of people who can refine. Why must it be Dangote that will refine for me? And it's been done in the name of federal government. This union is disputed. These are the fundamentals. These are the real issues. The economy is upside down. What is there in allowing people to refine, even if we have to buy the crude that belongs to us, if we have to buy it from you? We buy at whatever rate you sell to other people. But don't confiscate the right to refine. There are people in Port Harcourt who can set up refineries. There are people in Lagos, scores of companies capable of setting up refineries. They don't need to be 600,000 barrels. You can have something as little. You have modular refineries. You have all kinds of other options. By the time you have 10, 20 of such, products will be available to these 40 million people who live around Lagos. The same thing in other places. You confiscate the oil and gas. You confiscate the power to refine. And every day you go on TV telling us how you are going to import, how you are going to subsidize, because you are now buying, finished products, while millions of your youth are going about without employment here. And people are clapping and cheering, going to election organized by this same set of people, instead of asking the hard questions. That investment is Fulani asset stripping. That investment is Fulani, part of the Fulani conquest designs. And it's unfortunate that it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu that will bring the Fulani to deepen their conquest. Buhari came to Lagos on the 24th of January in 2023 to dip the Quran into the Atlantic. That is what that investment represents. The conquest that began from Sokoto is now at the shores of Lagos. For those who are rejoicing, there was an Afonja in the days of Ilorin. Apparently, there's another Afoja in Babylon today, leading the enemy into the backyards, into the underbelly of the Yoruba. That is what that investment represents. But let nobody rejoice too early. The owners of the oil and gas assets are not planning to give up their ownership because Nigeria is imposing constitution. That constitution is dead. The people who have the capacity to refine for themselves are not going to throw up their arms in the air because one Dangote has been licensed by some Fulani fellow who says he's president to come and refine for all of us. These things are going to collapse like a pack of cards. Let us be sure of that. The investors that refuse to bring their money, at the time Buhari had to go to take $2 billion from the treasury. And now we're talking about ways and means. Who approved that investment? Now we're talking about ways and means of 22 trillion. That's $30 billion in all, ways and means. The young people may not understand the meaning of ways and means. Ways and means is money taken, like pilfering by the federal government, to put it very plainly. Pilfering, taking money without appropriation. Taking money in a manner that is not authorized. So between Muhammad Buhari and his handmaid, Godwin Emefiele, we are now discussing $30 billion. Because I cannot fathom the other method by which that $2 billion got into Dangote's hands. There was $100 billion that was taken from the same treasury and given to Miyetti Allah. At the time, they were taking credit for the actions of, for the killings by Fulani herdsmen. All of that now going to ways and means. As it is.
All right, I'll stop this video here. Please continue to help us to share. I'll post that video in its entirety. It's actually 17 minutes. It's not that long, so that we can begin to understand what is at play here. These people are playing us. They are punking you. People are not asking the right questions. We are not focused. And then on top of that, we're waiting for God to come and do it for us, because that's what the slave masters told us. You know, believe in God. If you wake up in the middle of the night and stop speaking your language and change it to ba 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 ba, God will come and save you. And we're telling you, He's not coming. The same God they're telling us has been sitting there for 500 years. These people came with their boats or their ship called Jesus, collected our people back and forth. They didn't drown. Thunder didn't strike them. Nothing happened to them. They were in business for 400 years plus, selling people. And God did not come. He is not coming. It's you. He's waiting for you to react. You, of course, and me. That's who will do this work. Nobody is coming. Do not believe your slave masters. Do not believe what your church leaders are telling you to believe in God for miracle. No miracle is coming. You are the miracle. You will perform the miracle by doing what you're supposed to do. Your ancestors are waiting for you to react. What a wonderful, so timely topic. Your ancestors told us to tell you guys that they're waiting for you to react. No God is coming, and you're not going to die. And rapture is not coming. If rapture comes, I will rapture the rapture. If anybody comes now to come and take me to hell, I will bring the person to hell. Because that's where we are. The fraud must stop. It must come to an end at some point. So we're not going anywhere. Go ahead, sister.
No, God, I'm just laughing. Yeah.
I'm no longer on the screen, so I can't see you. I don't know if you're trying to say something.
No, I'm not. I was just laughing. Go ahead.
I will rapture any rapture, my dear. I know how to rapture. I will wrap you.
After Jacob did the same thing. Jacob helped God and said, oh yeah, all this I'm going through, we'll do it here. We die here. Yeah, so
after people commit crime, then you come and rapture. No, go and rapture the criminals first. Get out of here, man.